Hello everyone! Welcome to our first-rate reads at the Sterling Heights Public Library. My name is Jadwiga and I'm happy that you joined me to watch this video, which is 14th video in our series. Last year, I recorded for you 13 videos. If you have not seen them yet, please check them on our library Facebook page or SHTV1 YouTube channel. In those videos, I pointed to you over 90 book titles by various authors and from different genres. Today I have decided to make a little summary of 2020, and I chose for you a few titles that I have read during the last year, and I found them to be an excellent read. It does not necessarily mean that those books were published in 2020. They might be published a little bit earlier than that. Each one of my 5 picks belongs to different genre. Also, in the end of this video, I have a surprise for you, a few clips that didn't make into videos from the last year. Let's start with the 5 best books, of course in my opinion, that I've read in the last year. They are not in any particular order. We will begin with a feel-good love story, Flatsher by Beth O'Leary. With everything what was going on around us during the last year, by the end of the year I felt like I need some positive, funny stories to read. And this was one of my picks. It is a hilarious read, full of funny situations and likable characters. Tiffy and Leon share not only a flat, but also a bed. What is comical and unusual, they have never met. Leon works nights and weekends, and that is the time when the flat is occupied by Tiffy, while he is sleeping during the days when Tiffy is at work. This unusual arrangement works only for so long. As you might expect, eventually they meet in person in the situation that it is not necessarily comfortable. This was very relaxing and very amusing read. The second book that I am going to talk about might seem familiar to those who saw a First Rate Reads video from November. It is Anxious People by Fredrik Backman. This book brings a lot of humor. I'm a big fan of Backman's sense of humor and writing, and I would recommend any one of his books. Anxious People is a charming and wise novel about the power of friendship, forgiveness, and hope that can be seen even in the most anxious times. In the apartment open house, we meet a group of people who becomes the worst group of hostages in the world. In these unexpected circumstances, they will learn a lot about themselves. And I think that we can also learn from this book that even in the hardest situation, there is always a place for the light of hope. The third recommendation is a psychological thriller that will definitely keep you in suspense till the last page. The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides. In this book, we have patient-doctor relationship that is the key to solving a mystery and uncovering the truth. But the truth might be more surprising than you think. Silent Patient is a very well-constructed novel. I enjoyed it very much, and I've read a lot of psychological and suspense thrillers, but this one is definitely one of the best I've ever read. It is a story of Alicia Bernson, who after shooting her husband does not speak anymore. Theo Faber is a criminal psychotherapist who is determined to discover the events of fatal shooting. But not everything is as it seems to be. It is a fantastic novel. My fourth pick will be a very satisfying read for fans of historical fiction. The Henna Artist by Alka Yoshi. With this novel, we will travel not only back in time to 1950s, but also across the world to India. The book follows the story of Lakshmi, the most highly requested henna artist in Jaipur. Her past and her secrets can be dangerous for her position and livelihood. And as you can guess, the past will suddenly confront her current life and will threaten her slowly built independence and position. This story creates a remarkable portrait of a struggle between traditional and modern vision of women in society. It shows that the world can be both lavish and colorful and cruel. My last pick for today will be a non-fiction book, Just Mercy by Brian Stevenson. Brian Stevenson is an American lawyer, social justice activist, founder and executive director of the Equal Justice Initiative, and a law professor at New York University School of Law. He was a young lawyer when he founded the Equal Justice Initiative, a non-profit law office in Montgomery, Alabama, dedicated to defend the poor, the incarcerated, and the wrongly condemned. The office was also challenging the practices of sentencing children and youth to die in prison. The story of it is told in a book, Just Mercy, and it shows the efforts of young Stevenson to fight the racial injustice. The movie with the same title, based on the book, was released in 2019. These are the best books, in my opinion, that I've read in 2020. Since this is the summary of the last year, I would like to thank you all for watching previous videos in this series, and I hope that you will stay with me when I create more videos for you. And here are a few clips from videos before the editing. They show that creating these videos is not always as smooth as it seems to be. I will start with Lilac Girls. Cozy mysteries are gentle. It is an amusing story. It is an amusing love story. My next pick belongs to a British psychological crime thriller author. Irish Village Mystery series consists of 5 books so far. For the fans of cozy mysteries, the second book that I am going to talk about today brings us The story takes us to a small English village after Second World War that was the last place where Jane Austen has her phone. After she walks away from a cheating husband, she finds a job in a small town as a caretaker. After a very intense hour, Danny wakes away. After a very intense hour, Danny wakes again. My next recommendation belongs to Southern fiction. Songbirds. If you're a fan of Indiana Jones, treasure hunters, adventures, and history, I would recommend Fargo Adventures book series. Oh, that's not it. One more time, thank you for watching, and I hope I will see you soon at the library. Take care.